put my face back on it, please? And I guess we're going to go right back onto there. So the next thing I want to talk about here, this is kind of the basis for everything that we're going to be talking about here today, and that's the survival priorities. There's 5 of them. These are the things that we need in order to keep ourselves alive. Okay, think for just a minute what it is, what they might be, and she'll put the next slide up there that actually has them listed. Okay, these are the survival priorities listed in order. Okay, priorities implies that they're in order. Number 1 is shelter. Number 2 is water. Number 3 is health concerns. These are things like safety, sanitation, and hygiene. Number 4 is fire. And number 5 is food. Shelter's number 1 here because within hours we're going to want shelter from something. I originally planned to do this presentation out of doors, but it's raining out there, so I'm inside a shelter right now. Water's number 2 because we could make it into the next day without water. Food is last because we can go a couple weeks without food. You know, might not feel real good about it, but we'll live. Health concerns is in the middle. It kind of umbrellas over all of them. You always want to stay safe and healthy. Even in normal situation, whatever that might be for you, if you were to get sick or injured, that's going to make your situation worse. And if you're in an actual survival situation, you definitely don't want that to happen. So it's important to always stay safe and healthy. And fire's also kind of in the middle, umbrellaing over all of these. Might want shelter in connection with our fire in connection with our shelter for light and or heat. Fire to boil water to purify it, fire to cook food, fire to make tools, and so on. So we're going to work our way through the survival priorities here for the next bit. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this is the beginning of a debris hut. Like this is a basic shelter that works in many different situations, not every situation. But there's a ridge, notice there's a ridge pole that's leaning up against the tree. That needs to be strong. Might also be supported by a tripod. And then there are others, there's a layer of sticks laid, they call that ribbing, against the ridge pole. You don't want these sticks sticking out very far because they'll catch rain and direct it inside the shelter. And then let's go to the next slide. And here's that same shelter that's finished. We cover it with a layer of debris and then add some more sticks on the outside to keep the debris from blowing away if the wind should come up. Inside this shelter is a nice layer of debris to lay on because you'll lose more of your body heat to the cold ground than the cold air. And if you don't have any bedding at all, you would actually want to stuff it full of debris so that you have debris over you as well as under you. One question I always get in connection with these, what about the bugs? Aren't they in all this debris? Yes, but we haven't had a problem with that. It seems that when we're gathering the debris, they realize something's going down and they leave. So as long as you're living in the debris hut, you don't have too much trouble with bugs. However, if you leave it for several days, they'll definitely move back in. So if you come back to a debris hut or debris shelter that you haven't used for a while, you might want to fumigate it before you crawl in there, either that or tear it down and rebuild it. Now, using this same construction method, you can make larger group shelters. This is basically a 1 or 2 person shelter.